When looking at the logical connective that is called if and only if, we see that it has a truth table that is a bit strange, because when we look at this logical connective, which is also called biconditional, we see a very interesting phenomenon. We see that when we look at the two little sentences that comprises the whole sentence, we see that if both of the small little sentences, both of them are true, then the whole sentence as a whole will be true as well. But also, if we look at the two small sentences that comprise the whole sentence, if both of these small sentences, both of them are false, then amazingly, the whole sentence as a whole, the sentence that includes those two small sentences, this whole sentence, the complete sentence, will be true as well. Isn't this strange? When both of the small sentences that comprise is included in the big sentence, both of them are false, and then the whole sentence as a whole is true. Isn't this weird? And if it's not weird enough, then the two other options that are available to us when we are seeing what options we have. So if you look at those two small sentences and one of them is false and the other is true, or vice versa, the first one is true and the second one is false, meaning that each one of those two little sentences has his own distinct a value of truth, and it's the opposite of the other one. So when I look in this case to the whole sentence as a whole, the big sentence that include the two small ones, amazingly, the total of those two together in one big sentence, the value will be false. The value of the full sentence will be false when each one of those little sentences, one of them is true and the other false, or the first one is false and the other is true. The totality of both of them together result in the understanding that as a whole, the sentence is false. So I'm going to give you now an explanation. Why is it so? And I will bring a real life example to show you when and how this interesting logical connective is available and is logical to use, and it makes sense. So I'm going to take an example which is not completely politically correct. YouTube may even cancel my video over using this analogy because it is frowned upon. But I will use it anyway, and because it really shows this case very reliably. So what I want to discuss is a case that if we look at a couple, let's take a heterosexual couple, a man and a woman, and we look at the level of the attractiveness and beauty of each one of those people. So many times when we look at couples and both of the man and the woman, they're both very attractive, very beautiful. The woman is very beautiful, the man is very beautiful. Sometimes when people look at this couple, we feel some kind of at ease. We think that it makes sense. We think that it is logical. We think that it is fair that a very beautiful woman and a very beautiful man find themselves together as unison in the same dyad, in the same couple, because it seems like that's the way the world behaves. As for myself, I don't hold this position. I think that people are very complex, and outward appearance is not the only thing that's important, and not even the most important thing. And people as a whole have so many important attributes to them. But many people, when they look at the appearance of people, they see that a very beautiful man and a very beautiful woman, they're a couple, they feel at ease. They feel like this is the way the world should behave, and like this is fair, this is common sense, and this is how it should be. So here in this table we can see that if the woman, let's say the woman is the first sentence, she's P, and we'll call her P, and the man we will call him Q. So if the woman is very beautiful, and we will use like the binary notion of 0 and 1, or true or false, to true will be as in beautiful, and false would be as in not beautiful. So if we see a woman that is very beautiful, and let's say she has, so we will give her the status of true, and she is with a man, her spouse is a man who is also very beautiful. He also received the status of true. So we feel fine, we feel good, we feel this is how the world should act and behave. And so as a whole, this couple together, or the sentence, the whole sentence together that include the two small sentences, we give it the value of true because we feel at ease. We feel this is the way things should be. On the contrary, or even at the same notion, if we see a woman that is not very strong in the field of her appearance, outward appearance, she's not one of the most beautiful women in the room, and this is just okay because, as I said, the outward appearance of a person is not even the most important thing a person should have. But for many people, if we see a woman that is not very beautiful, so we will give her the value of false or zero or unbeautiful. So we will say that in this regard of her beauty, we'll give her false. We'll say false about her, and we see that she's with a man that is also maybe has the most amazing other characters to him, but regarding his appearance, he is not very attractive. He's not very beautiful. So he also receives the value of false when it comes to his beauty. And together, looking at them together, many people feel at ease. They feel content. They feel calm. They feel this is the way the world works. It makes sense. It is viable. It is understandable. We feel that this is the way it should work, and this is how it should be. So when we see this kind of couple that are kind of, both of them are not very attractive in some ways, so people might say, yes, this is how the world works. This is how it should be. So looking at this situation or this couple, we put the value of true on this couple because it makes sense to us. We think it is okay, and this is the way we feel comfortable. And now let's look at the other options. Let's say we look at a couple and we see that there is a disparity, that you see that something is not as you would expect, maybe. Like you see a situation where a woman is very, very beautiful and amazing, and her spouse or boyfriend or husband, he is much less strong in this attribute of his physical attractiveness. And as I said, it is the most normal thing, and because we as people, who cares about how we look? I mean, people are so complex and there are so many important attributes. But even though sometimes when we look at a very beautiful woman and she is with her spouse or boyfriend and he is not very attractive, and this is we can depict it with the symbols true for the woman that is very beautiful and false for the man that is not very beautiful, and we feel kind of some kind of it doesn't sit well with us, maybe. So this whole situation gets the value of false because it doesn't seem right. Perhaps something kind of seems not in place, and the same thing happens when we see a woman that is kind of far from the most attractiveness or beauty, and it's just fine because she should have very good other qualities that are much more important than appearance, absolutely. And this woman that is not very strong in the context of her physical appearance, she has a boyfriend or husband that is very much attractive, beautiful, appealing, and so on. So maybe people that look at them, maybe they squint their eyes, maybe they kind of look at them in in a way that is a bit suspicious. Maybe people are not very comfortable with what they see. Maybe it seems a bit odd. So we will give the value of this, for this couple, we will give the value of false. So this is how this logical connective works of if and only if. I hope this makes sense to you. You may leave some remarks at the bottom of the description of this video, and leave a like as well. And I will see you soon.